Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about how the sanctions that the Zionist forces of the world are putting on places like Russia and China are leading to their countries thriving, both because of domestic innovations, but also because of the collaboration that they're having between their nations. And so this article from the South China Morning Post is titled "Exclusive Sanctions Lead to Scientific Collaboration Between Russia and China." And so it goes on to say the three men were among hundreds of Russian scientists who met their international colleagues in Moscow at the Future Technologies Forum this month to share the latest breakthroughs in quantum research. To the surprise of many participants, Russian President Vladimir Putin even showed up at one of the panel discussions at the Moscow World Trade Center. This is the first time I've seen the head of state in a quantum meeting. People formed long lines to enter the conference room to see him in person, said a Chinese quantum scientist who took part in the event, but like the other researchers from China, requested not to be named due to Beijing's media policy. So we see that Russia and China are taking their leadership, their political leadership is taking an active interest in the latest technologies that will give them a competitive edge against the Western world. Putin declared an ambitious plan to transform his nation into a data-driven economy by 2030, in which quantum-powered computers, communication networks, sensors, and satellites would play important roles in the country's digital infrastructure. He goes on to say, we're developing international science and technology cooperation in conditions of an actual blockade that was declared on Russia by the authorities and ruling elites of some countries. So he's talking about these Zionist forces that really want to see the toppling of Russia and China, because the Russia and China are not participating in the Zionist-led banking cartels. They're not subservient to the Zionist-led banking cartels. And as we know throughout history, anyone who opposes the Zionist banking cartels is overthrown, is toppled. So this is our major chance, maybe our last chance, to overthrow the Zionists, to control the levers of power throughout the Western world. Otherwise, they might control the entire world. So he goes on to say, we really face pressure and attempts to limit our access to technology designed to compel us to give up our sovereignty and the right to choose our historical path ourselves. Our opponents hope that we would retreat and surrender, but as we will say, in such cases, this is not going to happen. Russia will only go forward and follow its own road, but without isolating itself from anyone at the same time. Yeah, I've been really impressed by Russia because I often say that Russia is being held together by Vladimir Putin's willpower and duct tape, because it's such a large country with so many diverse interests that the United States is trying to exploit on all fronts. There's enemies at the gate nonstop. And really, I do have to say, I am concerned that what happens if something does happen to Vladimir Putin, because I just hope and pray that they have good succession planning in place, and they have people, I guess like a Dmitry Medvedev, but like he's about the same age as Vladimir Putin. So it's hard to say what would happen after Vladimir Putin's gone. And so there's this waiting game going on between the West and places like Russia, where it's like, is Russia going to collapse once their leader passes on, or do they have good succession planning? But then at the same time, Russia is waiting patiently for the United States to collapse, because there's a variety of reasons that the United States is just not going to, it's just in terminal decline. And so you just have to wait it out. And so both of them are just kind of eyeing each other up, hoping that the other collapses first. And fingers crossed, Russia's planned out a solution for potentially losing Vladimir Putin in the future, because he is getting up there in age. But I have a ton of faith that he's thought this through, given just how politically savvy he has been so far. So let's move on. Let's see what else we have here. Sanctions led by the United States have created a new bond between scientists in Russia and China, but just like the quantum entanglement in physics, the quantum collaboration between Russia and other countries, especially China, can be complex, challenging, and sometimes fragile due to external disturbance. For one thing, the war zone between Russia and Ukraine is not far from Moscow. I actually feel quite safe here, a Chinese participant said, though. Some of my colleagues really wanted to come, but eventually canceled their trip due to safety concerns. Okay, so yeah, that's a potential hiccup there, is if they're having meetings, having collaborations in Moscow, there could be safety concerns. I could understand that. I'm not sure I'd want to go to Moscow, because Ukraine keeps trying to attack Moscow whenever possible with like suicide drones and things like that. Okay, so the article goes on to say the benefits of collaboration in quantum technology sphere make the challenges for scientists worthwhile. Yeah, something to remember, even though in a lot of ways Russia's still declining but being propped up by Vladimir Putin, they have a ton of STEMs graduates, science, technology, engineering, and math. And so their education system, I would say, is far more rigorous than the vast majority of education in the West. And so they produce a lot of really high quality graduates, despite their smaller population, their declining population because of fertility rates. They have a lot of things that would make a country like China want to collaborate with them. Quantum technology, the article goes on to say, is the ability to control single particles at an atomic level, can be used to create superfast computers, ultra-secured communication, and detective instruments with unprecedented performance that can bring disruptive changes to the economy, society, and military operations. Yeah, the thing about quantum computing is we actually don't know all the potential applications of it. We just know that there's going to be a lot of them because it's such a foreign technology. It almost feels like an alien technology to us that it's hard to wrap our heads around until we have scalable production level technologies, until we have it really cracked the technology there for quantum science. Okay. So quantum science, it says, needs a lot of cutting edge equipment to conduct the experiments. We can skip ahead a little bit. China has made some huge advancements in quantum technology, including the world's first quantum satellite, longest quantum communication network on land, and some of the most powerful quantum computers available for use. Also facing U.S. sanctions, Chinese scientists have established a more or less complete quantum technology supply chain at home. Yeah, that's the thing where United States sanctions just don't hit the same way that they did, say, 2 decades ago, where the United States really was core to the international supply chain. Nowadays, you can easily replace the United States in most things. Okay, so they don't talk about the collaborations because they're not allowed to disclose things about their collaborations between Russia and China. China is in a fight with the United States for the top spot in the quantum race, but it has major disadvantage. Most of the quantum algorithms in use today were developed in the United States, which can become a problem if the tensions between Beijing and Washington deteriorates further. Russian scientists have been studying theoretical issues in quantum physics since the Soviet period. So that's the thing where, like I said, there's a lot of advantages, a lot of really intelligent people in Russia. They have a really rigorous education system. And they also are the successors to the Soviet Union, which was... It's hard to call it a near peer to the United States because it only at its peak had like 40% of the economy of the United States, but it really was the almost sole competitor to the United States when it came to technology. And so because of that, they actually do have potential alternatives, an alternative tech tree, an alternative tech path that China can learn from. Okay. So what else? It says... Thanks to more than 25 years of continuous research by Russian scientists in this technology, the potential price for our sensors is 100 times less than of our competitors, but with sensitivity 300 times higher, Astra said. So yeah, they have very advanced quantum technology right now, and there's a lot of benefit from Russia and China working together. Yeah, they say that scientists are already working together in Russia and China, but they need to step up the innovations and the collaboration because of the fact that sanctions are hitting them decently hard. The United States is still pretty strong, particularly when it comes to certain artificial intelligence algorithms and things like quantum computing. So we will see if Russia and China are able to manage it. I think they are, just given how successful they've been in other realms of technology and how they've managed to sanction-proof themselves in other areas. Okay. What else is there? Okay, so the article goes on to say, but Gennady Krasnikov, president of the Russian Academy of Sciences, said the collaboration between China, India, and other countries was not to fight, but to unite. I don't know a single scientific alliance that is working by going against something. Any scientific alliance is primarily formed to solve certain scientific tasks. Krasnikov said sanctions can be landed to slow down progress of certain scientific research or initiative. However, he said there are no borders for fundamental science at all, though. Okay, so article goes into some of the detail about what is going on in the collaboration between Russia and China and how important it is to maintain these collaborations in everything from transportation technology to communication technology to latest advances in various STEMs fields, such as the quantum computing or latest technology advances in semiconductors. They're really across the board, politically, economically, militarily working together. And sure, they don't call themselves an alliance, Russia and China, but they really serve as, I would say, even stronger than an alliance. They are a symbiotic relationship. They really are extremely complementary to each other. So that is what I'll leave you with. If you found this video to be helpful, please give us a like. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Rumble for more content. And please leave us a comment in the comment box below. Questions, concerns, critiques. I read all of them. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.